haze comes in, circles us. Like a chair that's in the back, one of the Purple Haze will be glad to fetch one for you out of that back room. So just raise your hand, okay? We've all agreed that today is to be a gathering. Brian would have very delicately asked, and not a religious service, for he was, as many of you know, not religious in any kind of traditional or orthodox understanding. So a liturgy taken from any faith tradition, I think, would have actually violated his person, his polite will, and as I will soon suggest, his own spirituality, which was one of real presence, but set free in so many ways. We do, however, gather in memoriam, for our intention is to remember this giant of a man whom we all love and will hold in love and in gratitude and respect for who he was in the midst of a life in which he found a way to share something of his special self with each one of us gathered here today. Amongst us are two of his beloved children, their mothers, a grandmother and an aunt, and a host of others, one or two still here, and others too from his homeland of England. And there are people here actually from all over these United States. All of us, I think, with hearts that hurt, and in our own ways struggling to survive the shock of death and the grief that so often entombs us too in a tearful sea of sadness and regret and even anger. Facing the fullness of such fury alone is more than anyone can bear, really, at least alone. And so we, like the families and friends we are, huddle together, lovingly embrace one another, cuddle, cry, and wish. today, facing the field on which his own purple haze do war, we are going to turn more deliberately to the healing light that memory always offers to the restoration from death. Gathered as an extended family of Brian, we want to remember him. Each of us recalling moments with him that might have filled you with love or laughter, with wonder and awe. Each of you finding and recollecting events or conversations or music or a bit of mayhem. Moments tender, or as Brian might say, monstrously mad. Incidents that were endearing, enlightening, engaging, and with Brian from time to time embarrassing. I'll begin, and I trust that as I do, that you will allow your precious memories to flow. And I want you to know that you would then be welcome to be graced by them in a kind of silent reflection of your own, or to share something with the whole of the family here gathered. It might be a story, it might be a song, a picture might come to mind, or a piece of prose, or, thinking of Brian particularly, a pose. We would want you to share it in your own way, and then to give way for others so that there might be time for everyone. Afterwards, I think so fitting, we are going to follow the purple haze in procession out of this room and on to the hallowed ground that you face, and let them encircle us with a final farewell of their own. And afterwards we will return here for a bit of food and fellowship, one with another, and a time for you to greet family particularly. As I mentioned earlier, I loved being with Brian because he refused any particular reverence of me. Which freed me, you see, to be who I really am. That Brian was insistently agnostic, though not overbearing, and yet was just as certainly a spiritual vessel of God's very breath. A man who lived, and I believe was, vibrant spirituality on foot.